This presentation is done by the group who is handling Module 12, Library as a Place. We've titled our paper and our presentation, Make or Break, Maximizing the Use of the Innovation Lab at California State University Chico, Meriam Library to Enhance Makerspaces.
This is Jacqueline Fuller with the slide our teammate Joshua Chacon put together for us. Before we go further into the presentation and the white papers, a couple of key areas we wanted to cover. The first one being third space. This is an area outside of work and outside of the home where a person can go, exist, and have social interactions, and the library is a perfect example of this. The next one is makerspace. Sometimes synonymous with the word lab, this is an educational space designed for creativity, education, and innovation. And as a point of clarification, when Chico State first stood up the makerspace, it was called just that. And over time, there have been additions added to the area, and it has evolved into the Innovation Lab. You may hear both be used interchangeably throughout the presentation and paper. For our main points, the first one is that makerspaces foster learning. This can take the form of a workshop on how to use 3D printers. The second is that makerspaces require collaboration. These spaces are complex and require effort from everybody in that area to keep it afloat and to keep it working. Nobody works in a silo. Our third main point is that adaptability requires more resources. In order to stay flexible and to meet the demands of users, library staff, student workers, faculty, stakeholders, everyone needs to be able to adapt to meet those demands.
Hello, my name is Katherine Bantle, and I am here to talk to you today about something that is vital to fostering the creativity, innovation, and learning here at CSU Chico, the Meriam Library's Makerspace. This makerspace was created with a clear vision to offer the campus community a hub of creativity where students can access 3D printers, specialty software, and more. The space is designed to empower students, allowing them to turn their ideas into reality. However, despite this potential, the makerspace is currently being underutilized. The issue doesn't lie in the tools in the space itself, but in the current system that limits access. Right now, the makerspace operates through a reservation system. Users are required to book in advance and are limited on equipment use. The scheduling system does not only limit spontaneous creativity, but also prevents students from accessing the space when they most need it, ultimately leading to less engagement. Additionally, in the space, there is a significant barrier to the entry in terms of requiring training. Many of the machines and technologies in the makerspace require specialized knowledge to operate safely and effectively. Unfortunately, there is limited staff or support for patrons who are new to the equipment, meaning that many students who want to explore the space are discouraged before they even start, which ultimately limits their ability to fully utilize the space and reduces overall engagement. Now is the perfect time to commit to improving the makerspace. With the university's newly adopted strategic plan, there is fresh momentum to align with our goals. These challenges undermine the strategic goals and values of CSU Chico's strategic plan, which aim to foster innovation, create inclusive learning environments, and provide students with tools they need to succeed. If the makerspace continues to be underutilized, we will miss out on critical opportunities to help students develop practical skills, collaborate across disciplines, and engage with new technologies that could shape their futures. By removing barriers, we can transform the makerspace into a hub of creativity and collaboration as it was meant to be, empowering students to gain hands-on experience, build essential skills, and develop the innovation-driven mindset that will help them succeed in the classroom in their future careers.
Hello, I'm Dana Benelli, and I will be discussing our proposed solutions. As CSU Chico moves forward with their makerspace, we advise the following. First of all, we recommend that the library hire and train student workers as their primary staff for the makerspace. This will help to address the staffing and availability issues, leading to wider operational hours, personal involvement from students, and diversity increase, along with valuable professional training. One of the benefits that CSU Chico can enjoy is that they already have a student worker program. From the early days of the Makerspace, the Meriam Library intended to keep a dedicated Makerspace manager and hire student advisors to assist them. In the end, 16 students were hired. However, in recent years, the number of Makerspace student advisors has dropped, and job positions such as the Senior Assistant Engineering and Makerspace Librarian have remained vacant for 4 months. This has led to operational challenges. Therefore, the university must concentrate on reinvesting in this program and increase the availability of positions. Having more staff resources will go a long way towards addressing issues such as the reservation system limiting access and hours. To find examples of the system's success, let's take a look at our peers in the industry. In 2022, the Miami University Libraries revised their student hiring process with the intention to diversify. They created this workforce by identifying 15 possible organizations to advertise to through the student portal, hosting flexible walk-in interview times, and collaborating with a minority alliance group on campus. Over 12 new student staff were hired through this outreach, including international students. Meanwhile, in 2018, the Western Carolina University Library System specifically targeted their audiovisual services. The library purchased audiovisual equipment, hardware, and software for their new digital media lab. The services they provide now support the creation of content by students, faculty, and staff. These programs have created incredibly positive results for the library, often in a very short amount of time. If CSU Chico follows their example, they will enjoy similar benefits for their own community. It is important to note that student staff involvement will be a long-term process. However, by making sustainable changes, CSU Chico will enjoy many benefits in terms of increased engagement through students involving their social network, increased diversity and visibility in support of our strategic plan, along with professional development that may turn student workers into not only effective staff members, but potential future industry peers.
This is Jackie again with Key Discoveries. One of the things that came up during our research was the fact that no data was being recorded for the makerspace, not by the analytics department and then not by the library, which I'm sad to say still has stagnant data from 2020 still up on their webpage. This is a huge missed opportunity that can be rectified immediately. In addition to data collection, we also recommend documenting these experiences. This can be done in the form of a gallery on the Makerspace webpage, projects included in newsletters, and even social media. Combined, this would create a very compelling narrative to not only attract new users into the space, but future student advisors as well, and to really showcase the value that the makerspace brings as being a hub for creativity and collaboration. Another concern that came up was the assumption of digital native literacy. Not all of these student workers and advisors have the same technical proficiency skill. In fact, for many of them, this is their first job in a professional environment, and it's also part-time. So we need to be clear about the skills required when we're putting these job descriptions together and be prepared to train them in order to prepare them so they can handle the wide range of responsibilities given to them. This is a great opportunity to be a mentor, to not only just teach them that technical proficiency and train them in the job, but teach them and train them in the skill sets and the soft skills, such as customer service. And hopefully, that after their time as a student worker, they have a positive experience. Not only do they have that professional environment exposure, but they can take that on past their academic careers into their professional careers.
To close out, I just wanted to reiterate our problem and solution. The problem with CSU Chico's Makerspace had to do with accessibility as well as lack of collaboration in staff. Accessibility was tied to time constraints and registration barriers, which refers to the amount of time that students can use a space, as well as putting limits on when they can use the space. Solutions were tied to hiring practices. So the main solution would be to hire student workers, which increases peer-to-peer relationships, which increases the size of the community that uses the library. And in addition, it also promotes diversity in staff, which is a fundamental goal of the library. On top of this, hiring student workers helps with mentorship, which means that those students that work within the library were able to develop professionally.
Here's our list of references. And finally, thank you to everyone for taking the time to listen to our presentation from the Mod 12 team.